friends. We're here at the world-renowned Martin Guitar Factory in their beautiful museum with my good friend Dick Boak. How are you today?
And my good friend Danielle.
So Dick is going to explain to us a little bit about the history of guitars and the construction. He is a master builder himself. And how many guitars have you built so far?
Oh, I guess I'm going on 60 or 70, something like that, over the years. I'm not very prolific, but I do keep going. So lately, about 10 or 15 guitars this year, at least since the beginning.
Before we get to the history, can you tell me about your three strings a little bit? Because that's something very cool.
Yeah, I always liked the idea about 40 years ago. I got the idea to, because of Howard Hughes, to at least try to build an all-spruce guitar. And I built one up at Peters Valley in Layton, New Jersey, while teaching a guitar course up there. And it came out great. I mean, my whole thing about guitars has to do with the weight of the woods. I've found that lightweight woods really give a breathy, airy, crystalline kind of tone. And so I wanted to try all spruce, and it was a success. And I ended up convincing Martin to build some, a small batch of maybe 4 or 6 guitars. And those guitars have held up very well. And I revisited it recently with the help of Steve McMinn and John Hall, 2 of my wood suppliers. And I built a couple of the spruce gooses, one being a baritone, and the rest being standard 6 strings. They're light as a feather, and they have their own distinctive, clear, crystalline sound that is not muddy. They're not, I would say they're not rhythm guitars, they're more finger style. But I'm really excited to have done that. I think a great experiment.
Yeah, that baritone guitar actually has such tone. A lot of baritone guitars get muddy.
Yeah.
That baritone guitar
There's
is
no mud on it.
no mud on that one. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about the history of the guitar?
Well, you know, as I get older, I forget half of what I used to know. I do know that guitars emerged out of Persia with single string, little gourded instruments. We actually have a sample of one I think in Chris's area that I acquired just for the purpose of explaining how it started. But usually small gourds attached with a string, the gourd providing more or less a sound chamber. And gradually, as the Persian instruments migrated through Turkey and into Europe, the sizes of the instruments grew. Tied frets started to be used, using gut and a special luthier's knot. And then gradually, France and Italy and Germany advanced the guitar to more or less the state that it was in when C.F. Martin was in Martinbridge. And it was considered kind of heresy to build guitars in Germany. Germany was so focused on violins, and they had a violin makers guild that in fact prohibited Martin from building guitars, but he did anyway. They didn't like that. He ended up packing his bags and coming to the United States.
Okay, so at Albert Music Hall, we're known for our bluegrass and country music, our roots music, old time. So it's mostly acoustic instruments there.